Chata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol nהיה b'dvaro. Ki yesh ha'Yisraeli tzarech tamid le'stakel b'haseichel shel kol davar. The Israeli man is required constantly to look within the intelligence, the intellect of each matter, of each thing, of each word. Kol davar. Davar can be thing, word. Yeah, thing or word. And to tie oneself to the wisdom and the intellect that is in each thing or in each word. Every word or everything. In order that it should be illuminated to him, the intellect that is within everything or word, to make him close to Hashem Yisparach, God that is blessed, through the hand of this thing. Because the intellect is a great light, and it illuminates to him in all his ways, in all his drachim, in all his ways. As written in Ecclesiastes 8, the wisdom of man illuminates his face. For the Jew must always focus on the inner intelligence of every matter, and bind himself to the wisdom and inner intelligence that is to be found in each thing. This so that the intelligence which is in each thing may enlighten him, that he may draw closer to God through that thing. For the inner intelligence is a great light that shines for a person in all his ways. As it is written in Koheles, a person's wisdom causes his countenance to shine. This is an aspect of Jacob. Because Jacob merited to the firstborn, the firstbornship. Shehu Rashis, which is an aspect, which is not aspect. He says which is. Doesn't say Shehu Bechinas. He says Shehu Rashis. It is Rashis. It's Rashis, the beginning, the first fruits, the Rashis, the beginning, right? The Berashis, right? The beginning, right? Shehu Rashis. This is the Rashis, the beginning. Shehu Bechinas Chachma, which is an aspect of Chachma, wisdom. Kamashakosov, as it's written in Psalms 111, verse 10, Rashis Chachma. It says the beginning of Chachma, of wisdom. But you see that Rashis is Chachma, the beginning is wisdom, right? And this is an aspect of the verse in Genesis 27, verse 36. And you were okayed me, you went behind me and grabbed on behind me twice. Unclis and Unclis is the Aramaic Targum there, he translated as V'chakmeni, and you were wisdom with me. This is the concept of Yaakov. For Yaakov merited the rights of the firstborn, which is Reshit, beginning the concept of wisdom, as in Psalms, the Reshit is wisdom. This corresponds to, and Yakveni, he obstructed me these two times, which Unclis renders, he outwitted me. This is an aspect of sun. Because the intellect illuminates to him in all his ways like the sun. And this is an aspect of Proverbs 4. And the way or the length of the tzaddikim, of the saints, like a touching or glowing light, going, and light, until the middle of the day. Let's see. And this is the concept of sun. For the inner intelligence shines for him in all his ways like the sun. This corresponds to Proverbs. The path of the righteous is like a radiant sunlight, shining ever brighter as it approaches noon. And this is an aspect of ches. Ches is the 8th letter in the Hebrew alphabet. It's a way of saying chiyus, life force, right? You just put in a vav there. By the way, a lot of times in Hebrew, we just pull out vavs or pull it in vavs. Totally kosher. That the wisdom and the intellect is the life force of each thing or each word. As it is written in Koheles, Ecclesiastes, wisdom gives life, etc. And this is the concept of the chet. It suggests chiyut, life. For the wisdom and the inner intelligence are the vitality of all things, as in Koheles, wisdom gives life to those who possess it. However, because the light of the intellect is very great, it is impossible to merit to it without the hand of the aspect of nun, the letter nun. Numerical value 50. What letter is Yud? Is the 10th letter. Kaf would be the 11th. Lamed would be the 12th. Mem would be the 13th. Nun would be the 14th letter. 14th letter, Nun. Numerical value 50. Shehu bechinas malchus. This is an aspect of kingship. As it says in Psalms, before the sun, Yinoin is his name. Yinoin, it's like he will be Nun. Yinoin, he will be Nun. Nun is his name. Yinoin is his name. Uferish Rashi, and Rashi explains, L'shain Malchus. This is a name or a way of saying kingship. However, because the light of the inner intelligence is so very great, it is impossible to attain except through the concept of Nun, which is an aspect of Malchut, kingship. As it is written in Psalms, may his name, Yinon, be perpetuated as long as the sun. And Rashi explains that Yinon means kingship. So we see Nun is kingship, right? Because this is an aspect of the moon. Because the moon has no light from herself. Besides that which she receives from the sun. And this is the aspect of kingship. That she has nothing from herself at all. Rather that which she receives from the ches. Which is chokhmah, wisdom. The aspect of the sun as mentioned above. Kanal is kaniskar la'el. And it'll be made the light of the moon like the light of the sun. This is also the concept of the moon, for the moon has no light of her own, only that which she receives from the sun, and this corresponds to Malchut. It has nothing of its own other than what it receives from the Chet, the aspect of wisdom/sun. As a result, the light of the moon will be like the light of the sun, Isaiah. Okay? But one who does not tie himself to the intellect and wisdom and life force that is within each thing or within each word. This is an aspect of Esau, brother of Jacob, who disgraced, he made fun of, he didn't value, right, the Bechorah, the firstbornship. As it is written in Genesis, and Esau, he made fun of or disgraced, or we'll see the English in a moment. Esau disgraced the firstbornship. And what's this firstbornship? That's the intellect that was mentioned above. Bechinas, an aspect of, from Mishlei Proverbs, Lo yachpaitz kesil bisfuna, kiim behiskalos libay. The ksil, the fool, does not desire, he doesn't chayfetz, he doesn't desire bisfuna, with tuna, with understanding. The fool does not desire understanding, kiim behiskalos libay. Besides, forthwith, what does he desire? Behiskalos libay, with the revelation of his heart. Whatever that means, we'll see in a second English. That's the aspect of the kingdom of the wicked side, the wicked kingdom. Excuse me. An aspect of the moon of the other side. That on it is said in Isaiah. I think Isaiah was Isaiah. Yeah, Isaiah. As it says in Isaiah, that the moon dug or something. We'll see in a minute. If I mistranslate it, that's why we're getting the English. We catch it in the English. However, the person who does not bind himself to the inner intelligence, wisdom, and vitality that is in each thing corresponds to Esav. He despised the birthright, as it is written, and Esav despised the rights of the firstborn. In other words, the inner intelligence. This is, the fool does not desire understanding, but only to bear his heart. And this corresponds to the kingdom of evil, to the moon of the other side, of which it is said, the moon shall be disgraced. Zebechinas, so Chafra was disgraced. Okay? And this is an aspect of the inclination or desire of good and inclination or desire of wicked. Because the good inclination is called a miskein, I think is like a, I don't know how to translate, a chacham and a wise one. In Hebrew today they say miskein means like, nebuch, the guy like someone who can't hold himself, like he's a miskein, he's like we feel bad for him, pitied. Bechinas Malchus, an aspect of kingship. Shehi bechinas aniya v'dala deles lo migar maklum. This is an aspect of poverty and destitution, being destitute, poor, that has nothing from itself at all. Besides for that which it receives from wisdom. And the evil inclination is called a king that is old and a foolish. Bechinas Malchus de Sitrachra, the aspect of kingship of the other side, that it does not desire with wisdom and intellect. Bechinas layachbaitz kesil bisfuna v'chulei kanal, with an aspect of the fool does not desire with understanding, etc., like was mentioned above. So, better a youth, poor and wise, than an old and foolish king who no longer knows how to care for himself. This is the concept of the good inclination and the evil inclination. The good inclination is called poor and wise, corresponding to Malchut, which is an aspect of poor and needy, with nothing of her own, other than what she receives from Chachma, wisdom. But the evil inclination is called an old and foolish melech. This is Malchut of the other side, who has no desire for wisdom and inner intelligence, as in the fool does not desire understanding. So poor and wise. Okay, miskein is poor, apparently, your translation. And each and every one is required to give power to the aspect of kingship of the holy side, of the holiness, to overpower the kingship of the other side. And like our sages of blessed memory have said in Tractate Brachot, always a person should anger his good side against his evil side. And through the hand of what is he giving power to the kingship of the holy, to the holy kingship? Through the hand of Torah that he is involved with power. Like our rabbis of blessed memory have said there. You should always anger, etc. Right? The good and the bad. If it works, good. And if it didn't work out, so then he should involve in Torah study. Like our rabbis of blessed memory have said, if you encounter this disgusting one, meaning the evil inclination, drag him to the study hall. Each person is required to give strength to the kingdom of holiness so that it may overpower the kingdom of the other side, as our sages taught. A person should always incite the good inclination against the evil inclination. And how is strength given to the kingdom of holiness? By means of the Torah study that a person engages with enthusiasm. As our sages taught, a person should always incite. If it leaves, good. If not, he should engage in Torah study. And as our sages have taught, if this rogue accosts you, drag him to the house of study. Because through the hand of Torah we give power to the holy kingdom. And then the kingship is received. She is the aspect of nun. So then she receives life force from chachma. Which chachma is the aspect of ches. And then it's connected and tied, the ches and the nun. And it's made the light of the moon like the light of the sun. For it is, and right, maybe he's going to spell it out, but then it says that you made the word chen, right, grace, right, ches and nun. For it is by means of the Torah that strength is given to the kingdom of holiness. Then Malchut / Nun receives vitality from Chachma / Ches. The Ches and the Nun are joined and bound together, and as a result, the light of the moon will be like the light of the sun. Comes a Neufel. And when this one arises, this one falls. But as I Neufel v'nispatel Malchus Harsha, and then is falling and being nullified, the wicked kingdom, like it's written in Hosea. In Hosea. Ki yesharim darchei Hashem, because straight are the ways of Hashem. Tzadikim yelchuvam, the saints, the righteous, they go in them. Ufayshim yikashluvam, and the wicked, they follow with them. They follow in them. Hainu alidei darchei Hashem, that is through the ways of Hashem, Hainu HaTorah, which is the Torah. Through this, the saints that are cleaving into the holy kingdom, they are strengthened and receive power through this. And the wicked, the sinners, they are weakened through them. An aspect of the wicked kingdom. The aspect of the evil inclination. That it's falled and submitted through the hand of Torah, as mentioned above. And when the one rises, the other falls. Thus, the kingdom of evil falls and is nullified, as is written, the ways of God are upright, the righteous walk in them, whereas the sinners stumble in them. That is, by means of the ways of the God, i.e. the Torah, the righteous who adhere to the kingdom of holiness are fortified and receive strength, whereas the sinners stumble in them corresponds to the kingdom of evil, in other words, the evil inclination which falls and is humbled by means of the Torah as above. Very good, very good.